welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ty here, back with another video. So you guys can see by the title, I am going to be giving you guys some information on how to start your own resale or thrifting business. So you guys definitely want to watch all the way to the end of the video. Make sure you guys get all the tips that you need in order to make, whether it's a main business or you want to do something on the side to make extra cash. You guys definitely don't want to miss it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, comment down below, and also subscribe. And let me know what you guys do. Show the love as well. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, which will be on the screen somewhere. I don't know where yet, but make sure you guys definitely go over and follow my Instagram. It will also be linked in the description box, as well as my business Instagram, if you guys want to shop some of the items. But other than that, business is kind of pretty much however you want to do it. The first thing that I would recommend is figuring out how you want to scale your business. Is it just a side thing? Is it going to be your primary kind of main business? Do you want to grow it to a certain level? Already start thinking those things, because it also kind of motivates you of how hard you're going to go. If it's just a side business, you're not really going to put that much energy into it. Not as much as you would if it's your main source of income or your main business, which reselling and thrifting can be a main business. Like, you can make a lot of money off of that. So I would recommend the first thing to do is just figure out what kind of goals you want. Set those goals, kind of write them out. So you can already, because that really plays a part of your motivation, how you market yourself, how you promote yourself on your social media platforms. It really plays a factor when you know how far you want to take this. So that is the very first, and I feel like is the most important. Even if you started off as a side business and then you gradually want to focus on making it a main business, it's okay, but it's going to be also your drive and your hustle. So I always recommend, and I always tell people, make sure you know where you're going and where you want to end up, where you're hitting, where your goals are, marks, semi goals, little goals, big goals, so that way you can always keep your eye on the prize kind of concept. So after that, I feel like the second tip, which is important, is knowing what you want to sell in the resale business. When it comes to thrifting, you can sell clothes, you can sell shoes, you can sell baskets or furniture, houseware items, books, appliances, electronics, because the thrift stores are full with a lot of those things. So you want to focus on your targeted area of where you want to resell. Unless you just want to resell all the items, which is, pretty much you could do that. But if you want to really focus on a certain area, I think it would be a lot easier, because you'll just go and you really know what you're shopping for. You know what it's going to sell. You can really see what's going to sell. When it comes to the clothing, I feel like it's a lot easier, because you could just look at the tags. You can look up those items. You can see how much those items are selling on, certain websites. You could know where your pricing is going to be at. So yeah, that is the first and second most important, is to know what you're going to sell, know what you're interested in, know what grabs your attention, know what you can market to your customers. And that goes into the third tip, which is pretty much, are you going to redo or recreate or transform the item, or are you going to pretty much keep the item the same? When thrifting or reselling furniture, I know a lot of people get older furniture and they redo it over, like they paint it, they sand it down, or they pretty much transform it into something different. Same thing with clothing items. You can find a dress. If you're a good sewer, you can turn that dress into a 2-piece set and it's a whole new item, of course. So that is another important tip, is figure out what are you going to do. What are your crafts at? Or do you plan on redoing the furniture? If you're going to do furniture, do you plan on redoing the clothing item and turning it into something else by sewing and stitching and doing all those kind of things? Really plays a part in knowing how you want to really go. Which that it also follows into my next tip, you guys, which is pretty much budgeting and keeping up with your numbers. If you're going to redo the item, you got to factor in not only the price of that particular item, but you got to factor in the price of your time, your labor to sew, the thread, the needle, the machine, the time you spent on transforming that dress into a two-piece set. You got to also factor in the time of you transforming that old bookcase into something, that somebody you really, really will attract. The paint, the sanding, the sandpaper, stuff like that. So you kind of want to budget and also make sure you meet your margins when selling, which I will do a detailed video on that, explaining how to get your margins where you are satisfied. Because sometimes in this resale business, you can kind of sell yourself short because a lot of people are looking for deals and they want, markdowns and stuff that are affordable to them. And after a while, especially with thrift items, next thing you know, you're going to have a whole lot of bins of clothes, and then you're going to have to mark them down tremendously low just to kind of get them out of your way. So that's another thing, is budgeting, knowing what you're budgeting, write that down, all the pricings of stuff that you're going to have to use in order to ship those items or recreate those items to someone's desires, so you can get paid and you can get a good margin for the work and the amount of stuff that you've done. And then the fifth one is picking a platform. When picking a platform, you definitely are going to have to try every platform just to figure out which one is best for you. At first, from my experience, I started off on Poshmark. I was on there for years. I only had really one sale. I don't think I was really into it because at this time I was just doing it just to make some extra cash. It wasn't really a mainstream thing. But with promoting my Poshmark, I was able to jump up my sales a little bit, but I also went ahead and just felt like Poshmark was just not working for me personally. So I switched over to Mercari. I was able to sell over $100 on Mercari, more than Poshmark. So of course I started focusing more on Mercari and not really focusing on Poshmark because I felt like Mercari was a better platform for me. But now, since I have done Mercari, I also have done Facebook Market, which I also was able to scale over $100 on Facebook Market, selling items, offer up or let go, stuff like that. Which you got to kind of know what platform is good for you. To be honest, I feel like Poshmark is really good for vintage clothing or name brand clothing or designer clothing if you really want to sell it at a good price. I feel like Mercari is good if you want to kind of sell your kind of low budget items. It is good for also like smaller stuff, like small household stuff or small electronics like headphones, stuff like that. Facebook Market, I feel like you could sell pretty much anything on there and make a good amount of money. When it comes to furniture, electronics, clothing, shoes, all of that. I mean, to be honest, Facebook Market is really up there. For me, it's really up there because I was able to scale a lot of money on Facebook Market. And pretty much, you guys, that is pretty much all the tips that I have for you guys. I hope this video was very helpful in you starting or kind of getting the idea of how the resale kind of business works. If you guys are interested in starting that resale business, whether it's going to be your mainstream or side business, definitely go ahead and get into it. It's really not as stressful or as hard as you might think it is. Don't get discouraged. Always go after what it is that you want. I was able to scale a lot of money on all those platforms and just reselling itself. So also get out there, be creative, be you. Get into the resale game if you guys think it's an interesting thing for you. If you guys need any more advice on how to actually more details of how I got started, I am doing a series. I am taking you guys along on how to scale on these platforms, how to make money, how to grow as a resale business, how to market it, how to get you out there. So don't worry, I'll be having more detailed videos coming out. But if you guys need more information, you can always go ahead and hit the email that's down in the description box. Email me some questions, leave some questions in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in